Sunshine. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. That was so cute talking with Sarah and Abigail in the last episode. I look forward to talking with them again. But in this episode, I want to talk about, challenges in relationships are there for everybody.
Right.
But when you live with dissociative identity disorder, you have different personalities sharing one body.
Right.
And so when you have a fiance or a husband or a wife or a significant other, a partner, that must present more challenges for you. And, because, DID is often brought about because of trauma. And how does that impact your trust? To trust somebody is a huge step for for you. But then what about also, and I realize I'm asking different questions at once, but also the different alters, what's their trust level? Now you have a fiance, Matt,
Right.
and so describe that. How does that work?
Um. Well, okay. It's really scary because the way I feel is that I believe that everybody has the right to decide whether or not they want to enter a relationship with someone that has DID. That's only fair. Um, and also in my past, that what I was told that you don't necessarily have to tell people that you have it. Okay, that was from a therapist. But for me, if I want to get any kind of deeper relationship with somebody, you have to, because if you're there with them and all of a sudden someone pops out, how are you going to explain that,
Right.
So what I did was, I met Matt and I liked him. We liked each other. We got along well, and we just would have these long conversations. And there was one time I just said to him, "Hey, you know what? I've got to tell you something." And he said, "What?" And I said, "Well, have you ever heard of DID?" And he said, "No, what's that?" And I'm like, "Okay, multiple personalities." And he's like, "Okay." And I'm like, "Sybil?" And he's like, "Okay." I said, "Well, okay, I have personalities." And I explained how they came about. And, at first he said that he was thinking, he knew I was in therapy. So he thought, well, um, she'll go to therapy and they'll just, and they'll go away. And that's just not how it worked. If you ask him today, it would be like he couldn't imagine his life without them, you
Right.
know.
Right.
So the trust issue is right there. You're very vulnerable at all times, because you've been hurt so many times before. Obviously, that's the trauma that comes about, and each individual personality has their own set. You know, they have their own likes. Like you, I could have one that's bisexual. Okay, so to really have them all on the same page and liking somebody is a really huge thing, and they will let you know. There are certain things that I feel, like in my stomach, or things that, like, kind of, it's like I told you, I don't, I hear like a thought or a statement. um, if it's okay or not. I don't get the anxiety. That's a big clue. Um, but it's hard because I'm learning that regular trust issues between a couple are more when you're working with someone that has 17 personalities. You really have to develop a relationship, and they have to trust you, especially if you've got little ones, personalities.
Right. Such as Sarah and Abigail. So
Yeah.
what about Dale?
hmm
Okay. How old is Dale?
He's 17.
So he's a 17-year-old male
hmm
alter.
Yes.
Does he get along with Matt? I mean, is there any of the alters that uh, that don't care for Matt, or Matt doesn't care for them, or they don't mesh well?
No, actually, I was really lucky. Matt's got he's got a really soft understanding side to him. He's not a judgmental person, and that really helps because I'm not a judgmental person. Um, they get along really good. At first, there might have been Charlie. Charlie's the one that is skeptical of everything, and that's the way he takes care of the system. You know, he's the one that's like, "Whoa, wait a minute, let's see where this is going because we're not sure if we like this."
So he's a little more cautious.
Yeah, because honestly, I always thought that I would end up alone for the rest of my life. That was just something that I couldn't foresee ever happening. And doing even research, um, there's a lot of people out there that really don't know how to deal with relationships, and they've got to remember that it's hard on them. They have to switch modes from the personalities that come out.
Sure.
And so like Sarah comes out and she's like really happy, and Dad, can we go feed the deer and blah blah blah, and then but okay, now it's time, I want to spend some time with Sunshine. So it's date night. So those are things that you kind of have to be aware of, and you kind of make a contract on the inside, kind of like,
Okay.
I think what goes on is the older one will take the girls into another room so
Okay.
that they're not aware of those things. But there are general things that people need to know is that sometimes certain touches or certain smells could very well trigger the child or another alter, even though they're not out.
Okay.
You know,
And so, does Denise ever come out and interact with Matt?
she did at one point. She does. Um, she's very good at like I said, at telling what needs to be taken care of. Okay. There was a time period though where Matt would like write a note or buy a card and to Denise, and I would be like, okay, but I'm Sunshine. I'm the one that's out with you. So there was like a jealousy thing going on. You know, it went as far as Denise wrote a letter to me telling me that, and she was not in any way trying to take Matt away from me.
Okay.
That she saw Matt as just who he was. That I was the one that had the relationship with him.
Not her.
She had her own. The girls have their own, but I was safe, which made me feel a lot better.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so in times of intimacy,
Hmm.
is there ever any fear that one of the other alters is going to come out? Now, fear for you as well as fear for Matt.
That's a really good question, and um, there are times when we've talked about that, and if I feel like uneasy, or if I feel like all over the page, kind of, or my emotions, anxiety, then I know that there's something going on the inside.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing. Um, then I will come out and I will say to him, can we schedule another night for this, or a trigger time, like say that's really bad because a lot of the trigger times are because of what had happened with the sexual for the kid.
So with that, does he? Do you have zones or gestures that he is to avoid no matter what because of the danger of triggers?
Um, yes, he's very well aware of the time period, or the girls will like, if there's something a trigger time for them, they will come out and say the bad man is around, and that's a well-known thing. We don't enter that area till everything is safe.
Okay.
And generally, they have a communication that doesn't even have to pertain to that conversation or that topic, but knowing that they feel better and I'm feeling better and I'm more comfortable, then it becomes approachable. But it's workable. It's just
Right.
taking time.
Yeah, it's just a little managing. That's all management within the system.
Right.
And so for Matt, he has to be aware of, the different potential triggers, and so what to avoid. But he also then needs to be aware of, the how do I want to say this? Does he have fear of in the moment of one of the other altars coming out and sunshine goes somewhere else?
No,
Okay.
no. It was in the beginning, and I asked him that too. I said, "Do you ever have any fear that if it's an intimate moment, that the one of the younger ones will come out? Because that would be really bad."
Yeah.
Uh, no. He said the kind of system that I have works out as far as I am there. When I'm there in that moment, I am the one that is there. If I don't feel um, like comfortable, if he touches my arm or something, or if there's just something that just feels off, then we just don't go there,
Yeah.
and it works out.
Yeah.
And there has never been a time ever that anyone else has. Now I will tell you that there are a couple of like Casey with a K and Boots. They think Matt is attractive, so they will flirt with him.
Okay.
It's known about across the board that no one else has that kind of a relationship with him but Sunshine. So
Well, and so that how do you feel if Casey flirts with him? Well, first off, you're not aware of it, right?
right,
When Casey's out,
right.
and so do you find out
Oh yeah,
that?
Matt will tell me, or
Okay.
I'll say, who's been out. Usually when I come to, and I'm looking around trying to readjust myself,
Mm-hmm.
um, I'll say, oh, so who was out, or how were the girls? Um, and then he tells me, or he'll say, oh, by the way, Casey was out, and she was really cute because she thinks that we could date because she's old enough, or so he will say things like that, but there's really not fear for me.
Okay.
Uh,
So you're okay with it then,
yeah, I
knowing
know.
that knowing that
Um,
he wouldn't violate that with Casey.
right, you're right.
Okay.
There are probably I've read and I know that other people that have DID do have problems. A lot of them are in relationships like they have alters, but they're in a relationship with real two other people. And that must be really hard. I lucked out in the fact that all of them have a relationship in their own way, but I am the general person that he's with.
That's who's engaged to Matt is
Yes,
Sunshine,
yes,
and the others respect that.
yes, yes. They
Okay.
do.
Okay. All right. Well, thank you so much, Sunshine. I really appreciate you, sharing that part with us because that has to be challenging,
It is.
but it's also very sensitive. So
Yes.
thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time. All right. Have a good day.
You too.
Bye,
Bye.
Sunshine.